The show rolls on now with better health. As the kiddos heading back to school, you're going to want to make sure that they're up to date with those immunizations.
Absolutely. And joining us now from Bay State is Dr. J. Michael Claddy to tell us what exactly we need to know. Every year it probably changes. So what should parents look for first?
Yeah, this year especially, making sure that your children receive their recommended immunizations, probably the less fun part of going back to school.
Right.
But definitely a necessity, particularly in today's day and age where a number of these infections are unfortunately making a comeback.
Is there such a time as too late to get any of these? Like, when is the deadline for, I guess, just broadly speaking with this?
So the state of Massachusetts does require that all of its primary and secondary schools have their children immunized by the beginning of the school year, unless they have either a medical or religious exemption to those vaccines.
And where exactly can they find what specific vaccines their school might need, or are there certain ones that are recommended depending on the age group?
So as far as where you can find the list of required vaccines, those are available on the Massachusetts Department of Public Health website. It is in accordance with the CDC recommendations as well. So all of the required vaccines that the CDC recommends are also recommended by the state of Massachusetts as well.
Okay, perfect. So before you head back to school, you might get a school supplies list, but probably not an immunization list. So head over to that website
Exactly.
to check and see.
Perfect, actually, right there. And then I guess overall, vaccines, I remember as a kid going into the doctor's office and screaming when I'd see the needle.
So true.
I'd freak out. So I'm curious on your end, is there any way you could maybe tell a parent who's got to bring their kid for some sort of shot here what they should do maybe to get the kid into the right mindset there?
Well, certainly recommending, I'd say a treat or reward afterwards is never a bad idea.
Now we're
I've seen that with a
talking.
number of parents of children that I see. Some Tylenol and Motrin, either right before or right after, shouldn't be harmful either.
Oh, okay, good
certainly
idea.
helpful
That's
there.
not something you maybe would think of, because you always think of it as like a blood thinner, so I guess it's not a big deal.
No.
A little bit of a way to ease up the pain.
That's perfect. So I guess then the time is coming up. Is there anything that's jumping out from your perspective from the medical field that maybe people are overlooking here ahead of the school year?
So one of the immunizations, particularly for college-age students, individuals who are going to be living in the dorms at college, it's not recommended in terms of a specific requirement by the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, but the meningococcal B vaccine.
Okay.
I'm so glad you said that. I did a story on that, and it's not required by a lot of schools.
That's correct. Though we have, in the past couple years, unfortunately, seen a few of these cases at our area colleges. And so, though the incidence of that infection is relatively low, I would recommend that all children going off to college get that immunization series as well.
Great recommendation, because it might not be one that they think of. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
for
you
having
very
me.
much, Michael. Thank you very much.